ornamental, not the tastiest one, but since the fruit are quite tough and hard, some of them persisted well into January. Well, ivy, a staple for birds in Atlantic Europe, but not good for humans, so hands off. Here another hawthorn, probably Oxyacantha or some related species. I'm not very good at them. Mahonia, what would this be? Mahonia, no, Berberis juliana. This should be Berberis juliana. Well, or Berberis and Mahonia species are more or less edible, but also more or less toxic. So don't overdo it when eating them. Try, if you can eat a couple of them, then maybe a spoonful and so. But don't eat like a kilo of them. It will be too much for many people. What else have we got here? Well, here we have Mahonia aquifolium, the Oregon grape. Another tasty Berberidaceae. Most fruit already half dry. But yeah, not bad. Sour with a hint of oxalate in my opinion. Let's see what else we got here. Not much. Well, some non-edible things. Dogwood. The inside of the fruit looks and feels like guacamole and probably has quite a good fat content, but it's not really considered edible. It's not really toxic, but so bitter that it's useless. Here we have wait, let me see. This is Ligustrum. What was it? Ligustrum vulgare. I think this one is actually toxic. So hands off this one. Lonicera nitida. For some reason it's fruiting everywhere in Heidelberg right now, but it's also not considered edible. Oh, here, hands off this thing. This is an Ionimus. They are all considered quite toxic. What have we got here? Oh, well, here some black fruited cotoneaster. I don't know which one this is, but this is probably edible. No, not really. Dried up and not very tasty anymore. The fruit is not bad. I would say it's edible, but nothing special in my opinion. Well, here, Juneberry. Well, the name says it all. It ripens in June. On this dry location, in this dry year, the fruits dried up, but of course they didn't stay fresh from June. Actually, this plant was ripe in May already. They didn't stay fresh from May into January. Let's see, I think we got through our little pile. As I said, this is just as... well, last but definitely not least, the European yew. Actually, there are a few yew trees which have a couple fruit out of season. You really have to know how to eat this one. It's one of the most toxic plants in Europe. Actually, a lot of Celts committed suicide during the Roman conquest by eating this fruit, so hands off. It's a very painful way to commit suicide, so don't do it. Well, but the European yew, even the European yew ripens in January. And here, another Berberis. This is maybe Berberis hematocarpa, also edible, although in my opinion this species is often a little bit bitter. I might have overlooked a couple fruit in the pile. Maybe somebody can count them and see how many fruit I mentioned here and how many of them were edible. Well, folks, this was what you can forage in about 1.5 hours in a mild January day in southwestern Germany. As I said, in 2 or 3 days I would easily have collected over 200 edible species here in January, but I did not feel like going out and doing some serious foraging. I'll leave this for the steaming jungles of Malaysia, where I will hopefully end up in a couple days. Until then, stay tuned for a lot more fruit videos from the jungles of Malaysia. Tell me how many fruit I had in this video, how many species, and also don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe.